and gentlemen, Dan Sebree.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Hell yeah, I like that energy. What's up? I'm also from Dayton, Ohio. You can probably tell because I look poor and talk stupid. Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm also stoned as fuck. That's a good giveaway. I've lived in Columbus for 5 years, and I'm gonna be honest though. I moved here to do comedy, which is like a choice. But I was a little nervous, you know what I mean? Because I moved here from like Dayton, it's a smaller city, and when I moved here, I was like, man, are people from, I'm gonna come up here to do stand-up, or is the people in this city gonna relate to my perspective? Are you guys gonna see where I'm coming from? Are you gonna get my sense of humor, right? It was honestly something I really worried about. But the day I moved to town, the first thing I had to do was get gas, and I pulled up to the gas station. I saw somebody smoking at the pump. I was like, I'll be fine. You guys fucking get me, so we're gonna have a good-ass fucking time. I've lived here for 5 years, and I do love living in Columbus. I finally figured out my favorite part about living in Columbus, and I hope you guys like it too. My favorite thing about living in Columbus is you can tell people you graduated from Ohio State, and they just believe you. It's crazy. Dude, I saved so much money on college by lying, and I'll lie a lot too, and aggressively, and no one has once asked to see a degree, you know what I mean? I'll lie aggressively, like, I'm super good at reading books. I graduated sue me cum loudly, or whatever you call it. I love reading, you know what I mean? This lady knows what I'm talking about, coming, and this guy's a 50 Shades crowd, but I do, here's the thing, I am a huge fan of Ohio State. I don't really give a fuck about their sports teams, but I'm a huge fan of Ohio State for one reason. I buy mushrooms from a dude that teaches there. And yeah, when I found out he sold mushrooms, I was like, go Bucks or whatever. I was like, that rules. I was like, I hope you get tenure, dude. You rule. And one time we were hanging out, we were smoking weed, and he hits this blunt, and he goes, Dan, I gotta tell you, I'm having a nice fucking week. I was like, I love this drama. Keep it up forever. I was like, but tell me, why's your week so good? He's like, I'm not trying to brag, but I just got my learner's permit. I was like, don't worry, that's not bragging. That's fucking lame. Shut up. Never say that out loud ever again. That's embarrassing, right? You're like, I do stuff 15-year-olds do. Isn't that cool? No, shut up. You might as well come to me like, hey man, smell my fingers. Like, I haven't cared about that since I was a sophomore. You know what I mean? I don't care. All right, that was dirty, my bad. But I don't know, and I got a hot take coming up. Each comedian's allowed to have one per set. This is my hot take. I think it should be illegal to teach if you don't know how to drive a car. That is my whole... Seriously, I fully believe that. Because here's the thing. I'm big into cars, and if I found out my teacher didn't know how to drive, I would be so mean all the time. Are you kidding me? Like, I would not respect their grading system at all, right? Like, if I turned in a paper and they gave it back, like, Dan, this paper you turned in stinks, didn't like it. I didn't actually graduate college. I'm not sure what they say if you do bad, but I bet it's something like that. Like, that sucked or whatever. All right, like, oh, that's a bummer to hear. Sorry I disappointed you. You still need that ride home, though, after this? What? It's got to be worth at least one letter grade. I don't fucking know. I'm just going to guess. I'm going to do another joke now. But I don't have a saying. I just do a bunch of jokes till I'm done. This is my next joke. You know how Hollywood's all out of ideas, so they're just making like sequels and prequels to movies now, like that's their whole thing? I'm big into that, but I think we should start doing that for music. I think that'd be really cool. Like, you know that song, Whoop, There It Is? Yeah, I think there should be a prequel to that song called Dang, Where'd I Put It? And like a nice little call and response, you know what I mean? That'd be like dang, where'd I put it? Whoop, there it is, yeah. I think that song's about keys. I don't know. Fuck yeah. You gotta Venmo me every time you do. Sick. I'm gonna do a political joke, but it's funny. Dude, isn't it kind of crazy that Trump almost got shot, and like 4 days later as a country, we're like, yeah, we're over that though. You know what I mean? Like, we were like, we don't give a fuck about that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, nobody gave a shit, and I think this is why. I think deep down, every single one of us was kind of like surprised it took this long. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, whether you like him or hate him, we all kind of saw that for him. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I think the reason why they gave up talking about it is because the media couldn't figure out who to blame. You know what I mean? Like nobody could figure out what political affiliation he was, right? Because people are like, he's obviously a conservative. He had a gun. And other people are like, well, he's liberal. He missed. You know, so. I don't know what the shooter's motivation was. I don't know what it was, but I do think it would be funny if he also did it to impress Jodie Foster. I think that would be cool. Yep, that was stupid. Thank you. Yeah. I was a history major in college, so a lot of my jokes are about something that happened a long time ago. I wrote this new bit about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and goddamn, it's really fucking funny. All right, no other bisexuals in here. That's cool. Oh, yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I am bisexual, as my mom says, a people pleaser. Yes, thank you. Yes. I'm going to do a Buffy joke. I do love my partner and I were watching that show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and in that show, there's this character, his name's the Master. He's a spooky vampire, and he's like a few hundred years old, and here's the thing, though. This dude was locked in a tomb in like 1923, and then like is locked up for 70 years, and in the mid-90s, Buffy comes up, and then he comes out of his tomb, and I'm gonna be honest, it really surprised me at how racist he wasn't. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, this dude was buried in the 20s. He was buried before Italians were white. There's no way this dude's coming out progressive, you know what I mean? Like fucking, I'm a redhead. Like, look, if these vampires tricked me to be a sacrifice, which I'm already by, wouldn't be that hard. But they're like, all right, you're gonna have to come, and I like show up, and then like that vampire like comes out, he's like, I want to suck your blood, and then he sees my red hair, and he's like, not your blood, actually, now that I think about it. Whoop, there it is. That's the line of when it's not funny. All right. All right, I feel like we've gotten to know each other pretty good. I can peel the curtain back a little bit. I'm going to tell you my favorite hobby in the entire universe. I like to smoke a shitload of weed and watch Fox News and pretend it's satire. Now listen. Dude, it's so funny if you pretend it's not real. It's the shit. I'll get so high, I'm like, damn, when did SNL get so funny? This is crazy. And if you're upset I said Fox, just pretend I said CNN. I don't really give a shit. But my favorite thing about these corporate news networks is they all do the same exact thing. They'll bring a guest on the TV, and it all does exactly the same thing. They'll bring the guest on the TV, in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and they'll say the guest's name, and underneath his name, a little blurb about what he's known for, right? So I was watching Fox News one day, and they're like, coming up next after the commercial break, you fucking pussy. I was like, how'd you know? That's crazy. And they're like, coming up next, Kyle Rittenhouse. And I was like, sketch of the year, here we go. And I got super high during the commercial break, and they bring Kyle Rittenhouse on the TV. Bottom left-hand corner of the screen, it says Kyle Rittenhouse. Then underneath his name, you know what it says? Second Amendment advocate. Get the fuck out of town. Dog, that's not why we know him even like a little bit, right? That's a whole lot of spin to put as the reason why we know him, right? That's wild. Do you know how crazy that is? Dude, that's like if CNN brought on Casey Anthony was like, look, she's pro-choice. I don't know what to fucking tell you. She's way more pro-choice than you guys, so I wouldn't fucking... All right, that's gonna do it for me, everybody. My name is Dan Sebree. Please follow me on Instagram at GayFrankZappa. I love you. Goodbye.
Keep it going for my boy Dan Sebree, man.